all, thank you all for coming out, all the media. We really appreciate you amplifying the voices of this family and the call for justice for Howard Johnson. And I say justice because it is an injustice to not release all the footage in a reasonable, a professional amount of time. It's all digitized. This footage could have been released the following day, and all of it, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the St. Paul Police and their history of editing, documentation. We have Phil Quinn, killed by St. Paul Police, an indigenous man. His fiance, his mother are right there when he got killed. A video appeared. They don't know where it came from, but that video is not what they saw. There was also a video that the police had showing that Phil Quinn had his arms up, and the family is adamant that he was just walking from his garage on his property with a screwdriver, not a threat to anyone else, and then after he was shot, his arms went up, which would be reasonable. As the officer was hiding behind some straw that he had. So that one thing, I can speak from my personal experience on the phone of Marcus Gold, and I can tell you, they edited the audio from the event, the 911 call was edited, the conversation that was had with the 911 operator, and the individual is all different than what the original was. The chatter, that what was spoken about from the officers during and after the incident has changed. The entire incident is now only 46 seconds long. This is a history. We know that they have footage from Cordell Handy's execution. We know what they released was him having a mental health crisis prior to the shooting. But the footage that would have caught the shooting, which was from three commercial buildings, has never been released. So we do question the St. Paul Police with everything that they do, because the more time they have, the more time it takes to edit.
Get that view over there. That's the
Police don't really nothing. They waited and released the second video so that delay time tells me, because I know St. Paul Police Department, that just perhaps maybe they had someone edit that footage so the officer's arm just didn't allow us to see what was happening after he would hit that attack. They'll release a video and then to tell you what you saw when you know that's not what you're seeing. And that's Billy Hughes, a native man who was killed. And they're saying, oh, you can see you doing this and that. And it's like, no, that's not what I see. And it took a while to release that footage. So I have no trust in the St. Paul Police Department or the Minnesota BCA. They work hand in hand, right? I know the history of the St. Paul Police, and over about 40 people that have been killed by St. Paul Police Department. And I know what they're about, and they're about protecting and holding that blue line. Mm-hmm. So we now have a police chief for the St. Paul Police Department who what? Was the internal candidate. Yep. Do you think he's able to really hold people accountable?
Right.
Yes, to his fellow officers and about him. Right? Those are his buddies, his friends, people he's been working with. So now we know that the expectation of the St. Paul Police is the normal. Oh, it'll be sent to a grand jury after the BC investigates, and they will say, oh, no, we're not changing that. That's the norm. That's the norm. But we're trying to change that norm now. So there are three families, Marcus Golding, Cordell Handy, and the family of Jennifer Smith have lawsuits against the St. Paul Police Department for their wrongful death, and they
but I hold on to because I was switching hands.
Absolutely not. This is about what happened at that time, and we know that there was a witness who came forward at the vigil saying that Howard Johnson had his arms down on his side when he was shot and killed. That he was not shooting. They get some kind of things described in the video and exchange events. he didn't want to be shot. It does not stand to reason that he would be holding a gun, which I did not see, in the opposite direction. So, say his name, Howard Johnson.
Howard Johnson.
Howard Johnson.
Howard.
Howard Johnson.
Say his name.
Howard Johnson.
Okay, Trayvon, who's up next?
Hi, this is Monique again. Howard Johnson. I also want to say that the cop that shot my son didn't have a dash cam. So when they showed the video, the first video, all you can see is the steering wheel. So where is the dash cam? All cops are supposed to have their body cams and their dash cams. So why all of a sudden now this one particular cop had his dash cam on? And why was he able to come in there and do? He should have been on the sidelines and let the people the cops that had the dash cam and the body cams on do their job.
We need all the footage. All of the footage.
All of it.
All of it.
Chantel Allen is here. She's a long-time organizer with BLM. She's going to come up and say a few words.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Hey.
A lot of energy. I understand for a rough week. But when I say Black Lives, you say matter. Black Lives matter. Black Lives matter. Black Lives matter. Black Lives matter. This is just another result of the over-militarization of the police department. This is nothing new.
Right.
The over-surveillance, but yet we don't get to see the surveillance.
Yep.
It's another one of those situations.
And they edited it.
And I saw the footage, and I know, I've watched footage now for a lot of years because I've been doing this for a lot of years. And I know, like, for instance, in the case of Amir Locke, their argument was he had a gun in his hand.
And he
So
was
wasn't
asleep.
that the first thing we saw? Right? And if their argument here is he was busy trying to carjack someone, wouldn't that be the first thing that we saw?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because a lot of times their goal is to steer the community against justice.
Right.
And so even with Philando Castile, remember that fake video of him robbing the corner store? It wasn't even him?
Yep.
It wasn't even Philando.
Didn't look nothing like him.
Right? Where is that footage? Show me that footage. And why are you withholding it? And whenever you withhold it, it makes me think that you're doing something wrong.
Yep.
That you're covering something up.
Right.
And so I'm here to say, I'm in solidarity with the family, with Black Lives Matter Minnesota, Black Lives Matter Twin Cities. We want to see the real footage. We want to know what's happening with our tax dollars. This individual is a full-time employee. There was a lot of them, right? What was our tax dollars doing? How did they choose to use our tax dollars in that moment? Was it to attack a so-called super predator? Or was it to serve justice? Because I hardly believe that they were there to serve justice in this situation. With it happening that quick, and I know that, there's a lot of folks out here that are doing the wrong thing, but a lot of times when they see them cherries, they take off. Even cops know that when they hit their cherries, everybody takes off, right? Where was the cherries? Where was the cherries? Because that was the option right there. They used that as a tool just to get us to scatter off the corner when we're hanging out there talking.
Exactly. They didn't even give them
Why didn't you want to use that as a tool this day? You didn't hit the cherries. You didn't say drop the gun. You didn't say, I'm here, identify yourself as this is the St. Paul PD. You didn't do any of that. You hit this man with your car,
Uh-huh.
and then you got out and you started firing.
Right.
If the report was that he had a weapon of any sort, and you hit him with the car, why was the next move to hop out of the car?
Yeah.
This just isn't, the math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing in this case. And it really concerns me because 2 years after George Floyd, when we had an international uprising about policing in the state of Minnesota, and the Department of Justice has been to this state, we are still dealing with the same pieces of the so-called war on drugs.
Yep.
We got the super predator. We got the attack the black community. I'm constantly watching them apprehend white folks all over the place.
With knives, guns,
with all kinds of weaponry.
and they survive.
But they're not using the same tools on us.
They even gave
This
preferential
is getting
treatment.
real old. And I keep saying that every year. I said that with Amir Locke. I said that with Philando Castile. I said that with George Floyd. I said it with Dante Wright. I said it with Philando Castile. I said it with Jamar Clark. I've been saying it with Terrence Franklin. I said it with Cordell Handy. Over and over and over again. Anytime we lose one, it's getting old.
Right.
But now we're losing hundreds. And it's beyond old. I'm glad that everybody showed up today. I'm glad that the media is showing up today. Because it's time that we get our voices heard.
Mainstream and
It's time
independent
that
right there.
people start to see this story from our perspective inside the black community. Because for a long time, they were sitting on the periphery, just watching what happened to us. And saying, well, but it's not well. These are my brothers, these are my cousins, these are my uncles, these are my dads, these are my people, these are my ancestors. Unfortunately, they have become my ancestors. Enough is enough. So I'm Chantel Allen. I'm back again. I'm demanding that they release the tapes. We do want true transparency. We do want to know what was really happening. We all pay good taxes in this city.
I pay taxes. I work all the time. That's all I do.
And enough is definitely enough.
They bring me up. It's not big yet.
We got one more speaker, then we're going to head up to the St. Paul Police Department. We're working on several cases here in the city of St. Paul, and they can tell us about that.
Okay. What'd they say?
Don't see me.
Okay. Who that?
My name is Emma. I'm volunteer with Community United
I'm still trying to get readjusted to the weather here.
We've been doing this work for over 5 years now.
I need to leave the house on Thursday. Yes, I just went to the bar. And Target.
To view the body cam footage in this, and let me tell you this much: it's not enough what they've given us. Let's not confuse transparency. It's not transparency. What it is them framing the issue. They're framing their narrative. All that body cam footage shows us is a select clip that they want us to see, and then they provide us stills that shows us what we're supposed to be looking at in that footage. That's not transparency. That's not accountability. We've seen this time and time again. We saw them do this with Thurman Levin just a couple of years ago. I'll tell you what we did see from the footage. We saw that when he was killed, he was looking forward. He wasn't looking at the officer. It did not really show him supposedly being hit on the video. And he was not near the car that he was allegedly targeted.
Yeah, those alleged gunshots that they had saying came from him, I ain't here.
We also saw that the young man was able to say, don't do this, don't do this. But use that time to give any commands, or to give any warning of use of force.
Right.
It shows that they showed no regard for his life, and they also showed no regard for the life. Let me make this clear. Possession of a firearm is not a crime. It's not a crime. We have not shown
Wow.
They have to show an immediate moment. And so we're demanding to release the footage because of what they showed us is super suspicious. We have one more question about their body cam and the dash cam issue. You know, there's a thing out there where if an officer turns their body camera on, it triggers a dash cam. I want to know, does St. Paul Police Department have that? And why wasn't it working if they do? Or why didn't they, like they said, put his cherries on? Why didn't they turn on the light? Because when you turn on your police light, it turns on your squad cam footage. Your squad cam footage. So we would like some demands, some answers to these questions, and we demand all of the footage in these cases. Thank you.
Thank you. So, for those of you that want to, we're going to head up to the St. Paul Police Department, and we're going to hold some space there for another 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to continue to demand justice and accountability. You can jump in your car, and we'll just drive up there together as a unit.
Yeah, might as well.
Well, for those of you who want to march,
Okay, we'll march. We need a couple.